Here's your report.
Thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire a whole team of yous.
Try posting a job on LinkedIn. It's the world's largest professional network. Unlike resumes, LinkedIn gives a real-time view into a candidate's skills, experiences, and more.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Find your perfect match with LinkedIn. Post your free job at linkedin.com/achieve. That's linkedin.com/achieve. Terms and conditions apply.
Sephora's biggest sale of the year is on. Get 20% off the best gifts, including makeup from brands like Rare Beauty.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
20% off skincare from brands like Glow Recipe and Summer Fridays.
These are my fave.
20% off hair care like Way and K18.
I'm obsessed.
And 20% off fragrances like Valentino, Donna, Born, and Roma.
So good.
20% off your purchase, now through December 15th. Shop now at Sephora and Sephora at Kohl's.
Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
In October 2019, Arlington, Texas was chosen to be the home of a new national museum, unlike any other. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a unique home of military history. The 100,000 square foot museum will house exhibits, archives, and artifacts relating to the 3,500 U.S. troops who have been awarded the medal, the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. The museum will have 31,000 square feet of galleries dedicated to U.S. troops who have received the award. The museum CEO, former Navy SEAL and NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, said the museum will focus on education as much as preservation. The building will have 5 areas dedicated to Medal of Honor winners from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The main gallery will be located in a central plaza under a 25,000 square foot slab of steel, which will appear to be suspended in midair. It will be supported by 5 pillars. Black Rifle Coffee is a corporate sponsor of the museum, as are the Dallas Cowboys. The museum's board also includes over a dozen major corporations and 6 Medal of Honor recipients, including David Bellavia, Patrick Brady, and Britt Slabinski. Army Staff Sergeant Bellavia was awarded the medal for clearing an entire house by himself on November 10, 2004, as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. He killed 4 enemy fighters and wounded a 5th in close quarters battle. Army Major General Brady flew and coordinated the evacuation of 51 seriously wounded men during a firefight in Vietnam in January 1968. Slabinski, a Navy SEAL chief and team leader, led a rescue team of SEALs during Operation Anaconda in Afghanistan in March 2002. Slabinski and his team flew to a mountaintop ambush site to rescue Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts, who had fallen from the back of a helicopter. Slabinski led the team through almost constant combat against an entrenched Taliban force. Along with the board members, former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama serve as honorary directors. The museum is expected to open to the public in late 2024.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome to the ToosDay Crue takeover by me, yours truly, the Misfit Nation's host, Rich LaMonica. Cagney is here with me tonight as well. I'll bring him in now. It's going to be a great night as we have my sister from another mister coming on. We've been through a lot together, a lot of ups and downs over a couple years working together, a lot of fun times. She has a lot of names in my head. Now she's an awesome mental health professional. She always was a mental health professional when I met her, but she was E-Ray. She was Liz. She was girl on the floor. Now she's mom. She has a husband, 2 little boys. Not sure how many animals she has in the house, but she's doing great things for God and country. So let's bring in girl on the floor, E-Ray, to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Liz.
Hey, girl on the floor.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Not many people can trip through a doorway at the office and make the whole office laugh and watch us leave you on the floor. So that's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome. It is awesome. It is awesome. Surrounded by cola products. I died as I lived.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have Diet Coke. I think you had Pepsi back then, I believe.
Yes, yeah, full flavor of my younger self.
Yeah, a whole different person, by God.
Yeah.
One that would laugh at me whenever I would say things like, "How's that transition going, Rich? How's that transition going, Rich?"
Can I tell that story? Do you
Yes,
remember when we were? Was it Atlanta or Austin? I don't guess it matters. But we get off the plane. Stephen, you'll appreciate this. We get off the plane, and Rich and I are walking to the car, and he's like, "Oh, look, handcuffs are holding on the bumper to that car." And I'm like, Rich, the rest of the world calls those zip ties. And I am highly interested in knowing how your reintegration is going, sir. Yeah.
That was our laugh that whole weekend, I think. Actually, that was what kept us going as we brought in a whole new batch of fellows that weekend.
Yeah.
And of course, that was early in the morning as we were heading to the airport to start drinking at the airport before the planes even had fuel in them. So
sure,
it was
naturally, we have to be our best selves. The only reason I had abs at that time in my life, clearly because I drink copious amounts of beer, but it was because of the belly laughs in that office. Sure.
Yeah, we had a lot of good laughs. Big Jim telling us stories from the foregone era of Vietnam in the VA.
Yeah.
So Liz,
I'm still trying to picture you drinking, Rich. I can't picture that.
Sweet tea. That's all I drink.
Isn't it interesting? An Italian man drinking?
No way at all.
It never happened.
Italian man going to Italy on Friday drinking. Crazy. There's no way. So Liz, if you don't mind, tell the audience a little more about you from as far back as you want to go. You can go all the way back to Pop Bluff if you want, and then come forward.
I don't think any of us want to go back to Pop Bluff.
Tell us a little more about you and how we got here.
Yeah. So I mean, shout out to Butler County, right? I'm a small town girl, who
living in a lonely world.
Life is weird, and my story's no exception to that. I think my tie to the military community. So my dad's a retired police officer. He was a single father and raised my older brother, who ended up becoming a medically retired Purple Heart recipient in the Marine Corps. Just fantastic people, but like men of men. So that's probably why I turned out to be this polished gem that you the epitome of style and grace. So, you know, in my town growing up, you had two choices when you graduated high school, and it was you well, I guess three. You stay and you get a job, you go to college, or you join the military, right? So my brother became a devil dog. I decided to go to college, and like most people who have interesting upbringings, I ended up going for I got my undergraduate in psychology, and I double majored in criminal justice. I just really wanted to know like why humans were so human-y.
That's a word, everybody.
You know?
Why
and then I found out
I have to write that word down.
How much of a human I am. Shit, you know. So then I'm like, well, I got to figure out more of this. So then I went and got a master's degree, and then I've just been kind of dabbling ever since. I specialize in veteran services. I specialize in trauma and substance use disorder specifically. And then did a lot of suicide prevention research for the VA for quite some time. So now I did a lot of executive leadership for nonprofits, that sort of thing. Hung out with you for a few years in the VOS or VSO space, and now I'm in private practice, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I can tell you're loving it. I watched your post and how you actually have changed as a human. You said acting human-y. You changed completely, a 180 degree turn from the Liz I left in St. Louis, in the Lou, to who you are now. I mean, it took a turn to Arkansas to come back to the Lou, but you're 100% different now than you were then. And I'm so glad to see you being happy with yourself too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, like I'm not shy about sharing in the midst of all of that. I ended up in recovery myself from my drug of choice was alcoholism, or was alcohol. And, you know, that's been a really interesting point in my life, because I was a mental health practitioner who, specialize in trauma and substance use before I myself decided to not self-medicate. So being on both sides of the desk really has made me a better human. I stepped out of that direct work whenever I got sober, just because I didn't know what parts of my crap were going to come up, you know? And isn't that the most kind thing that you can do, right? Is work on yourself, and then and just as humans, the most loving thing that we can do for one another is be honest, right? So if I'm expecting people to walk into my office and give me that vulnerability and give me that honesty and that rawness, I better be damn prepared to match that, you know?
Definitely. And I think when you were in that the fellowship program office there, our den of greatness inside the door with the beautiful couch, I think you were the way you were helping your fellows, I think, was affecting you more than you even knew it at the time. And it took me going to a VA shrink that actually wanted to talk to me, not kick me out of the office, to tell me I need to get away from that because it was affecting me more than it should. I shouldn't work a place that's going to make me worse to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think during our time is when your brother, he took that little kind of slide down as well.
Yeah.
I think coming back from Denver or something, in the airport. And that's when we found out that you need to go up there to help him up by Chicago, I believe, at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
yep. It's just all part of the gig, you know. None of this shit discriminates.
Right.
And I think the real tragedy is not talking about it, right? I think as a culture, and we're getting away from it, but we're so afraid that we're gonna like give people bad ideas, right? Right? Like if I ask you how you're doing and how your recovery is going, or if you're having thoughts about killing yourself, because I know you have a history of all of those things, like you're gonna go, oh, well, you know what? I didn't want to die, but now that you mention it, I do think I have a plan, you know, like normalizing that and making sure that people feel that the world is a safe space to be authentic is the first step to healing. You know, we have to be curious. We have to be curious about ourselves. We have to be curious about each other in order for any of this to be worth a shit.
Yeah, but the problem with the world today is when you are yourself, you have everybody looking at you and judging you. And that's what a lot of people run into.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I would argue that those are the people who aren't curious enough themselves, right? And at the end of the day, that's kind of on them. I worry that that as a culture, we don't have enough independent narrative, that we don't have enough ownership of our own experience. And then what a miss that we don't get to learn from each other in that way.
Right. And I think to your point earlier about humans being humany and being themselves, being your true authentic self, and like Steve said, it's hard for some people to do it because they're afraid of the fingers pointing at them. Like you said, those people that are pointing at them usually have something wrong with themselves as well.
Yeah.
They have something they're not happy with inside. So they're going to point out any deficiency with the person in front of them that may be doing something to help themselves or being successful. And that's a fight we all, as humans, have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people can't handle that as well as others. And that's what causes the downward spiral, spiral.
In our sphere, the veteran sphere, is a lot of the big-headed thing where I don't want to ask for help.
Right.
I'm okay. You can't help me because you don't know. And you ran.
How long did you say that?
I always say that.
Yeah.
That's why she always asks me how's my transitions going. So,
yeah, exactly.
How's that transition? Go. 12 steps. 12-step program. Good.
He's on step 23 for the third time.
7 years into my 12-step program. I'm doing good.
Step cadence. Yeah.
It's doing great right now. It's like the cicadas just came out. I'm in like step 7 or 8. So it's good.
Cicadas. What is wrong with you?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
You've known him how long? You don't know what's wrong with him?
I know.
She never clinically evaluated me.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm always off the clock when Rich is involved, so I can't be bothered, you know.
There's only alcohol involved when there's Rich is involved.
And came back to an untrained dog. So
yeah.
I fed him eggs and whipped cream all weekend.
It was very incredible.
He loved Uncle Rich.
He did. Oakley
was my best bud. And he loved to hang out in the apartment. So.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, he was so big and lazy, that guy.
Yes. He didn't care where he laid. So
no.
You didn't get an inch with that fella.
No.
Lay on the floor. No, I'm not doing that. No.
It's like
I'm sensing a theme with the men in my life. You know what I mean?
Lay on the floor now. No.
Okay, fine.
Well, let's get off that one.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Let's get back to the show here. So, in the veteran
I was going to ask you to step away.
Oh, you're walking away. In the veteran sphere, you've been in it a long time, working outside the realm, in the realm, and now with your practice. What are some of the things you see that work for veterans, and some things that you have noticed completely do not work on some of the veterans that you see?
That's an awesome question. So a lot of times, let me start with what is not working, right? I often, I don't know how to say this, so it's not going to come out right, but I'm going to say it anyway because
it's you.
My name's Elizabeth Kowalik, and this is the things that I do. So I am often like the last resort for a lot of vets and first responders, usually because it's hard. It's hard to find a therapist that you click with anyway. Yep. And it's a specific sector. It's a specific culture. And you better, excuse my mouth, but you better fucking understand these people, right? Because you're talking about people that have had to survive and have had lives that have required them to be excellent judges of character, and then careers that have validated that. Anyway, I digress. People come to me often out of desperation because they've gone to therapist after therapist after therapist who really wants them to connect to their emotional selves, right? And like, and bring this out of them and like nurture this organic empathy. And it's not real, right? It's not real. It's not a language that people can understand anymore. And it's not kind, because it's not meeting folks where they are or even capable. And I could get into the neurobiology, but that doesn't matter either. So what I find works with folks the most is getting away from the warm and fuzzy, tell me about the relationship with your mother and how do you feel about that stuff, right? I'm certified as an EMDR practitioner. EMDR stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. This population tends to really, really gravitate toward that for a number of reasons. One, it encourages your brain to do what your brain does, right? Two, it doesn't require the explaining and the articulating and the feelings and, you know, like bringing all of those senses together. It doesn't require any of that. You literally don't have to think about it, right? Like the idea, the goal is to get down to that lizard brain and figure out, you know, what's going on. It also tends to work a lot quicker. So we see typically between 8 and 12 sessions, a 180 turnaround. I want to say never, but I don't like saying never. I'm going to say almost never. I very often will see radical changes after one session, one reprocessing session with EMDR. It's excellent. It's specifically for trauma, people with chronic and incidental trauma. But it's awesome for anxiety. It's awesome for phobias. It's awesome for panic attacks. It's awesome for depressive episodes. It's awesome for substance use disorders, other addictions, core beliefs like schema trauma, you know, all of the things. Because essentially trauma, just because you've experienced a traumatic event does not mean that you have post-traumatic stress disorder. It does not mean that you experience post-traumatic stress or that symptomology. And if you are someone who does, that means nothing about you other than, you know, like a neurotransmitter or two. So what our goal is here is to identify how that traumatic experience is intertwined a little too much with an emotional response, right? I tell my clients the easiest way to describe trauma is an action that got stuck in the body, right? I should have ran. I should have shot. I should have screamed. I should have punched. I should have, you know, like I should have all the should haves. If we can kind of move away from desensitizing like the what ifs of that situation, chances are we can really work toward limiting the responses that now become maladaptive when you experience something similar in the world.
Yes. And that's exactly like I told you in the email. EMDR is what Dr. King Counts did with me. It took me from wanting to walk in Walmart and just kill every person in there, to being an all right person. I lost my 2-second fuse that I've had since I was a kid. And it helped me out a lot. And I know it helps others as well. And it helps a lot of my friends with survivor's guilt. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, I shoulda. It should have been me, or I should have jumped in front of that, or maybe I should have went through the door first. You can't fix that. You can't dwell on what happened. You got to dwell on what you can do now. And it helps a lot of them dudes and dudettes get through that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can, right? You can dwell on it. Your quality of life will feel that.
They'll go down that tube that we call the darkness here. So,
yeah,
you'll be there forever, and until someone can grab you out by your ear or your toe or whatever's left, grab you out and punch you in the face and get you back. That's a different therapy, though.
Yeah,
I don't have initials after my name. So.
That sounded like Jersey City therapy for a second there.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. What do you say? Authentication.
It's authentication. They used to drive her nuts when I'd say that in the office.
I can't stand that.
Liz would say something. Just
and I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's not a word. It's not a word.
It's not a
A
word.
word in English dictionary.
Yeah,
Also,
and then every
she's only
time,
allowed to
like,
make up words.
no matter what it was, like, okay, Elizabeth, it's pretty holistic.
It's holistic.
Holistic.
Yeah. It got to be holistic. So we had no idea what it meant.
Whatever, dude. You do have to be holistic.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got to be holistic.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah, but you're doing it because you're being
a what?
Yeah, go ahead.
You came across weird there.
You're sorry, I have bad service.
Bad service. So you coming in broken again. Are you a broken woman? What?
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 She was calling you by your name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying don't be a Richard. I thought that's what she said.
Yeah.
She's being polite.
It is. Yeah.
It's a whole other side of Liz that you don't usually get.
There.
Didn't used to get.
I know. As I sit here and preach about being my authentic self, and like also like pinching my forearm, like don't say that.
Don't say that one. You got a profession now.
I know. It's like, well, I've always had a profession, but I've always had a profession that in fact like affirmed my insanity. And now I, respectability and etc.
Exactly. Etc. We talked about EMDR. Is there anything else you think? Because I hear ketamine, I hear all this other crazy stuff that people are doing and going to other countries to do stuff. I forget the names of the other things, but do you think those things are working, or is it just people trying to search for another solution to a problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we've had really hard lives, we're desperate for things to finally be easy, right? And unfortunately, that's not how it's going to go. I mean, I think supplementally everything's fine, right? But at the end of the day, like okay. So ketamine, psychotropic medications, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, right? But those all need to be considered additions to what someone's recovery process looks like, right? Like this is inevitably going to be you swimming against the stream of an absolute raging river, and you are going to get tired, and it's going to suck, and you're going to hurt, and you're probably going to take a rock to the face, right? And like it's just going to suck, and the sooner that you accept that piece, the more equipped you are to get through that journey. What medications, what ketamine, what all, like pick your favorite flavor of the day, right? What that just does is it takes the concrete shoes off. Like sure, that can alleviate a little bit of it, but ultimately the fight's the fight, right? And you had to fight to get here. And some of us are just unfortunate enough to have to fight to get out, right? But at the same time, thank God they don't hand us magic wands when we walk across the stage at grad school, right? Because in order to take away this pain, I would have to rob you of that journey. And that sounds so cliche until you're on the other side of your story, right? And then that begins to make so much sense. And then that goes back to like the independent narrative. You get the opportunity being someone whose entire story has been written for them. And then finally you are creating the opportunity and taking the opportunity to pick up the fucking pen. Yep. And you get the next chapter.
Yeah. I look at a lot of those as the Band-Aid where you can use a tourniquet instead.
Yeah.
A gunshot wound through your arm and putting a Band-Aid on one side of it, not the other side. So you're still bleeding on one side. You're not helping yourself, but you're covering up something right now.
Totally.
Trying to mask the pain a little bit, and then you come out of it and you got to do it again. You got to rely on that now instead of trying to work through the problem. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, like in a lot of ways, that is no different than self-medicating through a substance, right? Or like whatever, any sort of like external validation or cover up.
Yeah.
It's still not the why. You're still not getting to the why. That baggage is still, you know, your rucksack is still heavier than it has to be.
It always has been.
Drop the pack, folks.
She's saying the transition. That's what she's saying without saying it. I seen her write it down with her hand. She want your
Reintegration plug. Reintegration plug.
transition, Rich. Transition. That's what I heard. Right.
It's true. It's true.
George and Rich are not transitioning. That's all I keep.
I think you guys are. You're fine. You know what I mean?
We're all good. It's all good. Nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, keep drinking your tea. Tell us all about it.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I worked long today in the sun, blowing up still.
Mhm.
But other than that, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah. So am I.
I'm sure you are. I can tell. Has having the two boys in the house made you calmer, more sincere, or a little crazier?
The way she doesn't stop moving, I'm just wondering about myself.
Yeah. I do. I am a mover and shaker. My boys could not be any more. I mean, they're really quite different humans, right? My Benjamin, the 4-year-old, he's a sensitive guy, you know, and he's intuitive and he's in tune with people. Cohen is going to go to prison. He's going to go to prison. And
so that's me and Richie. That's what you just described.
Yes.
That is exactly the two of us.
He's so sweet and he's so thoughtful and he blows my mind, like how much empathy and compassion, and he's funny. They're both hilarious. But yeah, I mean, Cohen is just his dad, man. His dad like needs to teach man lessons. Like he's just the epitome of a man in all the wonderful ways and all of the most horrendous ways all at once, right? And he's his dad. He's just a freaking brute. Like his toenail's about to fall off because he dropped something on it, and we're like, when did he cry? What do we do with this child? Yeah.
So he's already hardcore. That's good. He can go right in the Marines.
It's like one of my biggest fears. No, it's not.
Just give him a box of crayons. Tell him to start tasting them now.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
On his favorite color.
You know, kids have a great way of bringing families together. I think that my entire family has really grabbed on to like just this individual accountability for one another. And my boys are really getting to reap the benefits of that. And it's cool to, you know, we are all showing up our best selves for them.
Yeah.
in indirectly. So yeah, I mean, it's quite poetic. I am still nuts.
What?
I don't. No, calm. Has it made me? Did you say calm? Has it calmed me down?
Yeah.
No.
You pressing rewind there? What are you doing?
No, it's just.
Did you say calm to me? I'm not calm.
It's giving me a new perspective. You know, I mean, some of that is. I mean, I'm gonna get real therapist.
Lay down, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, lay down.
Like, yeah. I think all of us need an opportunity to go back in our own histories and like grab our own pudgy little hand and raise ourselves a bit. And my boys have certainly given me that, like an opportunity to appreciate all the things that my dad did. I have not a clue how he pulled any of that off. I don't know. They're like mirrors and doors, or mirrors and windows, right? Like in some ways they show you who the hell you are and how much you need to chill the hell out, and also like where you can go.
Right to bed. Get right to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And to hell also. See ya.
Listen here. So have you started his prison release fund yet?
No, I always say we're paying for college or rehab, and they get to choose.
They get to choose.
Wow.
Just one trip to each. One trip to each, guys.
Yeah, we're saving for one or the other. Pick
You don't have to worry about a wedding since they're boys, so it's good.
I know. Yeah, that works out well. And also, like, what would I do with a daughter? Truly.
God, that'd be great. I'd love to see that.
Well, stay tuned. You know,
Stay tuned.
very funny things happen.
On the wall there.
Yeah.
His baby girl. Found on road next to girl on floor.
Girl on floor junior.
So Steve, you're saying that she moves around so much. She would do that on her weekend trips. She'd run. She'd give the opening. She'd be the MC. And then all of a sudden you turn around, she's laying on a bench in the middle of a hallway in the hotel, out cold, like in a coma.
Yeah, and you guys left me in a strange city.
What?
On a hotel bed. Don't what me?
It wasn't a strange city. It was in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't St. Louis.
Where was that?
I think it was like it wasn't San Antonio. It was San Diego.
No. Was it? Yeah.
Oh, or it might have been Boston. It was one of them two.
Jacksonville. No.
I didn't go to Jacksonville.
Oh.
But you might have been left on the bench there too.
I went to Jacksonville and they had peacocks.
Were they on the bench with you?
No.
No.
Were they just in your mind?
No, they were peacocks. And you know what? Those things are huge.
And they chased me down the road.
Yeah. Well, they didn't chase me, but that one side-eyed me pretty good. I was not. If you'd mess with a peacock, you're a fool.
I was just thinking.
I'll tell you that for free, boys.
It might have been Atlanta where we left you on the bench.
All I know is
How many stars from Atlanta do you have?
Oh, Atlanta was one great weekend.
I know. I mean, you had Vinny in
Atlanta,
Savannah. I got what? I got sun poisoning when I was there. You got this story. How many stories do you have in that state?
I met Soundgarden, drank with them till early in the morning, the wee hours of the morning, and then he died 2 weeks later. So
I forgot he died.
Yeah, right after that. So, yeah, Atlanta's a fun town for me.
It is, and they have what are the tater swirls or whatever at that other hotel. God, those were delicious.
Yep. We went to some exciting places and
we did. We had
them.
Yeah.
My first it was my second trip. First trip was Minneapolis. Second trip was San Antonio, where we had the tub of beer in the room.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You didn't break the tub, did you?
Oh no, we just drank all the beer.
Oh, okay.
It was a good tub too.
The tub was broken in Jersey City. That was a long time ago.
That was you.
I was innocent.
That was prom night and it was you.
Oh, it's all fun and games till it's prom night.
Till it's prom night and you don't remember anything past midnight. It's good.
Well, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
You didn't kill someone, did you?
No. What's your next question?
I was looking to see what you're pulling out of your gun. What was it?
Oh no, this is parts work. An illustrated guide to your inner life.
Oh, look at that. That's what I want to see. I was thinking about buying that yesterday.
You should. It's a fantastic read.
I was thinking not to, but it's whatever.
I bought Hess trucks yesterday.
He bought Hess trucks. See, that's great. We all have some.
No idea. It's okay.
It takes all kinds of kinds, gentlemen.
It's a truck from a gas station.
What?
You know Hess gas stations?
No.
She doesn't know. That was a Jersey thing.
Right?
Is it what?
You know what gas stations are, right?
Yes. Yep.
Hess was a gas station. It might still be somewhere. And they had these little trucks and stuff.
Steven, you said they're in Jersey?
They were, yeah.
That's a whole other place.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't in Jersey. I wasn't.
Liz,
I'm
how
too
does
good for Jersey. I've been in Poplar Bluff.
Pop Bluff in the Lou? I was in the Lou. I hung out.
I was there too. I hung
in
out.
St. Louis.
I feel like I would dig Jersey, you know?
Yeah, for a day or so. I gotta get out of here. Well, you'd fit right. It's just like St. Louis, just different. No stadium.
Most of the people here talk with their hands like this all day long. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You fit right in.
Yeah,
they'll understand what you're saying. Transition.
Yeah.
Holistic.
You know what I mean?
Wrap yourself around it.
You give a mouse a cookie.
Make them run. Make them run after the cheese.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
Right now, Liz, I'm going to ask you to provide how people can get in contact with you if they want to learn more about ways to help themselves. Our first responders, our veterans.
Sure. Well, I'll be happy to help. I don't know. I mean, you can call me or text me at 314-266-9037. You can email me at ekowalik. Sure. At westcountybehavioral.com.
That's going across the bottom.
Huh?
That's going across the bottom right now.
Oh, look at that. Oh my God. What a time to be alive.
Yes, it is. You just came digital.
Yeah. Or you can, bug Rich. Messenger pigeon.
For you.
Smoke signal.
Do circles in the sand.
That's right.
So I'll go on the next show with Rich and I'll go like this, and then all of a sudden you'll appear.
Yes.
That happens. There's Liz's number. And
look at this.
Here's her website where you can find out about the practice where she's at right now.
Yes, you can.
You can read her whole bio there. See her picture.
So, yeah, I'm happy to answer any random questions as far as like services go. I am licensed in Missouri and Illinois. So you'd have to be a resident of either one of them
to get full practice, not just random questions. Bingo.
Right. Not like.
So does she start her text like you do?
I'm sorry.
Calling people fuckers?
No, she doesn't call people that. No, she's more realistic.
She's more professional.
She calls them Richards.
Yeah, I church it up a little bit. No, I mean, no, I don't call. I don't.
She had to really think hard about that. It's like, wait.
No, I really don't. But I do. I mean, I'm very intentional about being who I am,
Yeah. You've always been your true self with me, no matter whichever one of yourselves it was. Yeah, whichever one of you it was, you were always the true person.
Yeah.
I mean, how many are in there?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like
she didn't even hear that.
I didn't hear it. What?
Say,
how many are in there?
Yeah, no, I heard that.
Oh, she heard that.
No,
she blew right by it.
Where's the lie? I've worked really, really hard in my career. I'm very, very good at what I do. I know the practices. I know the modalities. I execute them well. I know the theories. I understand them well. But at the end of the day, the very most important skill that I have is I give a shit and I get it, And like, I hope I never, if I lose that piece, the whole thing is for naught.
That's when it all crumbles.
Yeah, for sure.
House of glass at that point. So from us talking about this is the many different Liz's here. So in the office, nothing but business on the phone with her fellows. She'd laugh a lot because they'd laugh about whatever they were talking about.
And because I'm hilarious.
Oh yeah, that too. That was
objectively.
That was on the list. You showed me that list. Yeah.
Very funny. And then we can go out to I forget the name of the place right next door where we'd go have the beers there. The little brewery right next door. We'd have beers there and just relax, and forget everything we just did and talk about nothing that had to do with that, but make up a bunch of crap on each other. and then we can go out on a weekend and pack boxes for troops overseas with your friends out there all day long, hanging out and packing boxes and just doing things like that all the time. And that's what makes Liz what Liz is, a true person in every aspect of her life. Don't cry.
Wow. That tastes like vinegar coming out of your mouth or what?
I had to poop a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boy.
Boy.
He was piling it on for a second there.
I had to put my host hat on.
I got to go get my hip waders right now. It's the shit's piling up.
Can you read that, or your eyes still messed up? No sleep till Brooklyn.
Ah.
Well, Liz, thank you for hanging out with me and Cagney for the last near 45 minutes. This has been great having you on here. You shouldn't have took me this many years to get you on the show, but whenever you want to come back and hang out, we'll have you on again. Just let me know.
Oh my God!
This is like so awesome.
An honor, truly.
Sure.
I appreciate you guys very much for all that you do. The more we, even if our purposes don't seem to align, they completely align because we give all of the shits about all of the same people. So
right. In different ways, yes.
Right.
You're the professional, and I'm just this weird guy on the side here that does things.
Yeah.
Telling guys to go get help from professionals with acronyms.
Yeah, like, hey, it's not me, but I know this chick who
she'll point you in the right direction. She'll tell you some good words. She'll say, holistic transition, reintegration,
neuro-linguistic feedback.
And next thing you know, you'll be fine because you don't want to hear it no more.
It's true. It's true.
It's like Flintstone vitamins. They're working.
Yeah.
All right. I sure appreciate the opportunity, guys. Thanks for
It's been great chatting with you. Don't be a stranger. We'll talk to you later.
Same these.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.